Hi everyone, this is audapostrophe. Let's continue our game of Ascendant Hearts on Nintendo Switch. The worshippers conducted research here, so we should find some sort of library or archives. Something about what she said nags at my thoughts, like I forgot something important. Disturbed by more than just the building, I walk with the others deeper into the temple. Ah! So, this is what a corrupted monster looks like. Less gawking, more fighting. The monster certainly isn't going to wait for us to get our act together. It dives at Aiko, who repels it with a flash of light. I run towards it and swing my sword. Shiori joins us with a burst of fire, and Chisei lunges for it with her daggers. It's tougher than the regular flappers, but not bad with all four of us working together. Chisei is a definite boon to our team, with quick striking attacks that don't give the monster a minute to rest. We defeat the corrupted flapper, and I let out a sigh of relief. This is just the beginning. Stay alert. As we proceed through the temple, it only gets weirder. Not only does the architecture make my head spin, but soon we pass strange carvings, artwork of endless abysses and incomprehensible monstrosities, and arcane symbols that make my skin crawl. Wait up a minute. She walks into an alcove beneath the terrifying painting and returns with a sheet of paper in her hands. This is a note written by one of the worshippers. What? Why was it lying around a random corner? These notes are part of the Bazal temple raid. Most adventurers skip them to get to the rewards as quickly as possible. Many of the creepier dungeons have scattered journals and messages like this. At this point, I shouldn't be surprised. I bet there are also locked doors we had to open by solving puzzles. We should look for every note. Right, the more we find, the better our chances of learning about Ascendant magic. I haven't read the notes in a long time, but it could prove useful. What does the first one say? Let's see. For 12 days, I have been researching the phenomenon known as ascendancy. Ah? Strange tremors have been felt of late, and 3 of my fellow researchers have fallen ill. Our pleas to Azilnarath go unanswered. Why has he fallen silent? We must find a way to reach him. This mythical power may be the key to our prayers. She folds up the paper and puts it in her inventory, I guess. So, they wanted to use Ascendant magic to communicate with their god. That's what it sounds like. Are you finished here? We should move on. Once again, something tugs at my mind. What am I forgetting? I feel like I had a conversation that I never finished. I tried to think my way through it, but then we reach a strange door. My thoughts grind to a halt. The door has 3 circular indentations in the front. Shiori, I'm assuming that means, reaches for the door handle, but Chisei holds up her hand. It's locked. We need to find the 3 medallions. I knew it. I knew there'd be a puzzle door. All 3 of them look at me. Is your memory coming back? Well... Whoa! The corrupted whammer bounces around us angrily and finally decides to attack Chisei. She takes it out quickly before any of us can move. I feel bad about fighting these things. Even the corrupted ones are cute. Cuteness has no effect on Chisei. She sheathes her daggers with an impressive expression and walks away from the door. Twisting a lamp on a nearby wall reveals a hidden passageway. We need to find the medallions. Our trip through the secret passage leads us to a key, which opens a chest that contains a green jewel, which Chisei promptly takes back out of the passage and embeds into a painting on the other side of the hall to open another secret passage. Along the way, we fight more corrupted flappers and whammers, and Shiori picks up another note. It sounds like this was written by the same researcher. Ascendancy proves elusive. Aelnarath remains deaf to our cries. 5 more have fallen ill. We don't have much time left now. I only have 1 hope left. I will go to the sanctum and speak with Azilnarath. Don't tell me they gave up on Ascendant magic and we came in here for nothing. We don't know that yet. Keep moving. The passage leads us to 1 medallion and another key, which opens a door that gives us the combination to a safe, which opens a safe hidden behind a painting to give us the next medallion and a note. What is it? Listen to this. That insufferable researcher thinks ascendancy is the solution to our problems. Does he not realize that the ancient power was taken away from humanity for a reason? It's not the domain of men, but the domain of gods. If we try to make ourselves gods, we will be punished. Well, that's ominous. Sounds like the worshipper didn't all agree on what to do about their problem. Is that all it says? She's interested. That's a surprise. I expected another curt command to keep moving. Wait, there's something scribbled on the bottom here. Star mark E5 N3T2. Huh? Thank you. She continues through the temple as though the incomprehensible string of letters and numbers means something to her. We exchange glances and follow her. She stops in front of a strange sculpture of a star that changes appearance even as I look at it. East 5 steps, north 3 steps. She then taps her foot twice on the floor. A compartment in the floor slides open to reveal the final medallion. Unfortunately, it's bound in place by several black metal straps. How do we get it out? There are hidden switches on the floor. We need to press them all at once to get the final medallion. So we all need to stand on one? Not exactly. There are several switches. This might be awkward. Great. I'll stay here to grab the medallion once it's free. She crouches beside the compartment. Hayato, it's probably best if you stand on the far switch. Walk towards the star sculpture until you hear a click. I obey, and when the floor clicks beneath my feet, I turn to look at her. I think I found it. Good. Shiori, you're next. Walk to your left until you hear a click. Shiori takes a few steps. Is that it? Now slide your right foot to the side until you hear another click. All right. Now bend over and find 2 more switches with your hands. You must be joking. Aiko, you need to find the remaining switches. I have a bad feeling about this. While Shiori feels along the temple floor for hidden switches, Chisei instructs Aiko on where to find the rest. She awkwardly contorts herself as Shiori drops to her knees with a grumbled complaint about how nothing is ever easy. I stare at them in bafflement. Shiori, you're on one of Aiko's switches. What? How? Never mind. Aiko, slide your foot forward. Okay. Hey, don't you have any respect for personal space? Would you rather it was Hayato? What's that supposed to mean? Let's get this over with. Aiko wiggles her fingers a little further along the ground. Found it. I'm on all of mine now. We wait. Nothing's happening. We should have it. Shiori, you must not be on one of your switches. Maybe she's the one missing a switch. I'm glad all I have to do is stand here. Shiori's arms and legs tremble from the effort to hold herself in this position. Move a little to the left. Now I know the worshippers were insane. No sane person would go through all of this just to navigate a temple. They wiggle around a little longer, and then, at last, the straps around the medallion slide away. Chisei snatches it. Got it. Thank goodness. She collapses on the floor in relief. Shiori disentangles herself from Aiko and stands up. After a moment, Aiko follows. And you enjoy this raid? It's entertaining. That's one word for it. Let's go. Wait! Why? Let me see that medallion for a minute. You agree to cooperate with our quest. Fine. She hands over the medallion. Shiori looks at it for a minute and then digs her fingernails into a groove on the side. It snaps open to reveal a piece of paper folded up inside. What? Shiori closes the medallion again and returns it to her, but Chisei looks stunned. In all the times I've done this raid, I've never noticed. What does that one say, Shiori? I think this is from the first researcher again. My trip to the sanctum was delayed by a sudden fever. As I lay shivering in bed, the terrible truth struck me. I had the sickness, just as the others did. But with it, the illness has brought a strange sense of clarity. I must go back to Izelnarath, sick or not. He needs me. He must tell me something. Wait, does this sickness give him ascendant magic? Sounds more like it gave him delusions. I mean, really, a fever told the guy his god had an important message for him? Let's keep going. The sanctum is beyond the door. We take the 3 medallions to the door and insert them. It opens with a rumbling sound. Inside, I see only blackness, as if an empty void waits on the other side. Look! On the other side of the open door, one more note is attached to the wood. This message was written in huge dark letters and hastily scrawled message large enough for us all to read. His madness, his voice, the endless abyss has claimed us all. Well then. I finally realized what has been bothering me. Shiori, why did the worshippers abandon the Temple of Bazal? You never finished explaining. A terrible plague struck the worshippers. It afflicted them mentally as well as physically. Insane, most fought Most fought each other, while those who remained healthy searched desperately for a cure. At last, one of the top researchers went directly to Azelnarath for help. Her gaze darts to the ominous note. Well, what happened? He was too late. Azelnarath himself had the sickness. What? The guy finally made it to the sanctum, but their god was sick? Azelnarath already sounds like some sort of insanity-inducing great old one. What happens when something like that goes insane? At least we don't have to deal with him, unless... Please tell me the corrupted Azelnarath isn't the boss of this raid. Of course not. Azelnarath has slumbered since that fateful day. Not even the worshippers have been able to awaken their god. Thank goodness. Or in this place, may I should say, thank Azelnarath. We should move on and finish this raid. I wish we'd learned something else about Ascendant magic. Keep those notes. They could teach us something. I suppose. Cautiously, we follow Chisei past the door in the dark chamber. Trespassers, this will be your tomb. Thick! This is the boss. Get ready, everyone. I draw my sword, although I'm not sure how good it will be against a ghost. At least I can use my defensive abilities to protect my party members. Sure enough, my sword and Chisei's daggers only do minor damage to the ghostly researcher. Shiori's magic, and especially Aiko's light-based magic, are most effective, and we do our best to defend them. It's the most unsettling battle I've fought so far, not only because I can't fight directly. The researcher teleports around the chamber and chats in an arcane language. Sometimes he shouts ominous warnings, too. The time of doom is upon us. Not only that, but the room itself doesn't make any sense. It's like an ordinary room, empty and pretty flat. When I walk through it, though, sometimes I find myself climbing up steps that take me to the same level, or going through doorways and emerging on the other side of the room. It's enough to make me dizzy. Chisei, however, dashes from invisible door to invisible door with perfect accuracy to follow the researcher's movements. I guess that's what happens when you do this raid often enough. Suddenly, shadows arc from the researcher's hands straight towards me. I jump away, but the shadows form a barrier, trapping me with the researcher. Hayato! Don't panic, it's just part of the raid. But what do I do? My attacks barely work on him. You who dare to defile this sacred place. Speak the name of our god and I may let you live. Speak. Yes? Oh, is it 2 A's? I think it's 2 A's. The researcher reels backward. So, you're not completely ignorant after all, trespasser. The shadowy barrier fades and the others resume their attacks. Nice work, Hayato. Shiori sends a burst of fire towards the researcher, and Chisei darts through another invisible door in time to stab him in the back. I linger near Aiko, defending her as she uses her light-based magic again. But after a few more attacks, shadows streak towards us and knock Aiko out of the way. Once again, they trap me with the researcher. Why me? You who have invaded the sacred place of the worshippers. Seriously, why me? Show your devotion, and I might yet relent. What is the name of the holy chamber in which we stand? Speak. Oh, did we mention it? The Sanctum? You know its name. Are you perhaps one of us after all? I just hope he doesn't expect me to perform any strange rituals. While the researcher stares at me, the shadow barriers drop. Shiori and Aiko attack him together, and he turns towards them with a furious screech. Good work, Hayato. The distraction left him open for a major attack. The battle continues in a similar fashion as it did before. Magic attacks wear him down. Our physical attacks are more useful for defense than anything else, and the room shifts around us. When the researcher turns towards me, I'm barely even surprised when shadows swirl forth to separate me from the others. Do you always ask the same person your questions, or am I just unlucky? You who have disturbed my rest. Why can't he bug one of the others for a change, like Chisei? She probably has the answers memorized since she likes this raid so much. If you are here to aid me, perhaps I have been hasty. Tell me, for how many days did I research Ascendancy before I began to record my efforts? Speak. Yeah, and I don't remember. 5 days, 12 days, 12 days. Then you did pay attention. You're here to help me? I hesitate, not sure if he's actually asking or not. tired. So tired. I've been on my own for so long. He shakes his head and the shadows disappear. Shiori immediately attacks him with a bolt of lightning, while Chisei darts in to distract him. The battle ends quickly after that. Shiori and Aiko repeated attacks are too much for the ghost. He fades away, but not without one last haunting cry. The prophecy is coming true. Ah, glad that's over. We couldn't have done it without you, Aiko. Or Hayato. Ah, come on. Your magic helped a lot more than I did. You gave us openings so we could attack. She's right. We'd probably have worn him down eventually, but you made it a lot easier for us. Maybe I'm getting the hang of being an adventurer after all. That's for sure. You've come a long way. We make a pretty good team. Yes, we really do. I guess we should get the rewards and head back to the Lightshire to come up with a new plan. But Chisei remains silent. She stares at the spot where the ghost floated a moment ago. Is something wrong? His final words. He never said that before. Could it be because we found the note hidden in the medallion? Perhaps. She still looks unsettled as we head through the dark chamber to the other side, where a treasure chest awaits us. And on top of the largest treasure chest, another piece of paper rests. What? That was never here before. Shiori picks it up and unfolds it. She draws in a sharp breath. I don't believe it. What? Her voice trembles as she reads the final message. I have seen my God stricken by illness. I have heard his words tainted by madness. I have received his warning, clear in truth. Thus I shall record it, the final prophecy of Ealzenrath. She takes a deep breath and continues. The gift of the gods turns to destruction, and monsters arise to destroy humankind. Born of hatred, driven by fury, they race ahead toward a black dawn. Only one can stop the Ascendant Heart, a traveler to our land sent by the gods from another world. Shiori's words hit me like a physical blow. A prophecy about a traveler from another world? It's crazy. I'd have to be arrogant to assume it was me. Maybe this sort of thing happens all the time. And yet... Oblivious to my conflict, the other three frown at the message. What does it mean? It means that if we want to stop the attacks on Lightshire, we need the help of a hero from another world. She sounds oddly calm about this. Maybe it really does happen often. Just how are we going to find someone like that? Post another notice? Okay, I just can't ignore this. If the prophecy really is about me, then they need to know. Otherwise, they'll waste time and effort trying to find another traveler who doesn't exist. On the other hand, how can we be sure this is about the attacks on Lightshire at all? An insane researcher had a vision from an equally insane god about monsters destroying humanity. The key word is insane. It might have nothing to do with us. And for that matter, isn't the god something we should be concerned about? Mad gods don't generally lead to good things. What's wrong, Hayato? You look like you want to say something. Well... Ask about the prophecy's relevance. Are you sure this prophecy is about Lightshire? Huh? What else could it be about? Another quest? A new dungeon? Or maybe it doesn't mean anything. It was written by crazy people, after all. How rude! She's insulted on behalf of the insane cultists of doom? My point is, how do we know if it refers to our quest or not? It must. She doesn't sound uncertain at all. Why? I have gone through this Temple of Bazal raid many times. Never before has this prophecy appeared. And it's hard to believe a reference to the Ascendant Heart would show up coincidentally when our own clues lead us toward Ascendant magic. We came here looking for a lead, and we found one. Finally, even if we could assume the prophecy appeared because of the earlier note we found, the researcher also mentioned it in his dying breath. He's never done that before. Wait, so that ghostly guy we fought, you fought him before? Of course. She begins to speak slowly, as if she thinks that will help me understand. He is the boss of this raid. Whenever a group of adventurers goes on this raid, he returns to haunt the Temple of Bazal once again. But, man, talk about a raw deal in the afterlife. Not only are you dead, but you have to appear at your old temple on a regular basis to be vanquished by adventurers. On the other hand, I guess we didn't actually destroy him. If he'll come back for the next raid, where does he go in the meantime? And I thought the idea of monsters carrying around gold was weird. Hayato, are you okay? You look a bit dazed. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this. What's the matter with you? Amnesia. He gets weird like this over the most basic things. She sounds contemplative, or even suspicious. Does she think I'm from another world? Should I tell them? While I'm trying to make up my mind, Aiko clears her throat. Can we leave now? Yeah, there's no point in hanging around the temple any longer, is there? Not unless you wish to go through the raid again. No, thank you. Then follow me. She leads us toward a door at the end of the chamber. I'd swear it wasn't there when we entered, but after everything that's happened, mysterious doors appearing in dungeons are the least of my concerns. We emerge into the twisted forest. You'd think it'd look a little more welcoming after we clear the dungeon, but it's still as sinister and threatening as when we arrived. Now what? I suggest we save any decision making for tomorrow. What? Why? We've been through an ordeal. It's been a long day. We all want to find answers, and that could lead us to making hasty decisions. You've got to be kidding me. You were the one in such a hurry to get here. Indeed. So? What? Why do you all of a sudden change your mind? I did not. We completed the raid. And now you don't want to talk about what we learned? I wish to discuss it tomorrow, once we've all had time to think about it. This is ridiculous. It's a prophecy about the monster attacks. It says we need a traveler from another world. We need to talk about that now. Tomorrow. Now. She turns a furious glare on us. Back me up, you two. Aiko cringes and shrinks back. I'd like to think about things a little more, actually. Thank you. It's good to know I'm not the only rational one here. Rational? Why, you little... She scowls at me. What about you? I hesitate. I can understand her desire for urgency, because every minute we delay lets the Dark Wolves endanger Lightshire even more. On the other hand, I could use some time to think about the prophecy. Could it possibly be about me? All three of my party members stare at me expectantly. Shiori looks impatient, Chisei irritated, and Aiko worried. Oh, it's actually wise to wait. Why'd you hang around in a dangerous forest? That makes no sense. But let's side with Shiori, just to make it 50-50. The quest comes first. I'm with Shiori. We need to discuss this now. Thank you. The smile she casts in my direction makes me feel a little better about it. What do we do now? 2 on one side, 2 on the other. We're caught in a stalemate. Hayato and I formed the party first. As the original members, our votes count more. That hardly seems fair. And you've barely been with us a day, so yours counts less. Is that so? Well, I don't care what you three decide. I'm not staying here in this creepy forest any longer than I have to. She takes off through the trees. Aiko, wait! See what you've done? You've driven your most vulnerable party member into danger. No, please. I, at least, will make sure no harm comes to her. Before either of us can say anything, she runs after Aiko. Shiori and I stare after her. Well, I see they found a way to force their victory. We won't be discussing the prophecy with them anytime soon. I wish we could all get along. At least you're still here. Thanks. Not that I need your company. Are you telling me to leave? No, I just want you to think I'm less capable. I just don't want you to think I'm less capable than that. She nods in Chisei's direction. She thinks she knows everything. I wonder what she's up to. Who cares? Come on, let's go back to town. We can talk about the prophecy on the way. It's a relief to be back in the regular forest. Still, I can't stop thinking about the prophecy. You know, maybe we don't have to search for this traveler after all. Oh, what do you mean? Did she somehow guess? If we keep trying to save Lightshires, we're bound to run into the hero eventually, right? That's how prophecies work. Oh. Besides, it didn't give us any clues to go on. Maybe it is me. I'm already trying to stop the monster attacks. Are you all right? Huh? She suddenly looks concerned. You seem disturbed. You're quieter than usual. Did something happen to you in the temple? No, it's not that. I suppose I could tell her. This is going to sound crazy, but I'm from another world. What? She stops dead in her tracks. You're joking, right? No, I don't remember a lot about my home, but I know it's not from this world. Where I come from, things are completely different. Wow. Do you believe me? Yes. Because of the prophecy? Actually, it's just because it explains so much. Amnesia or not, up until now I assumed you were a bit slow. Hey! Not knowing inns would heal you, needing me to show you how to equip gear and use an inventory, and all those weird questions you ask. It makes so much sense now. Yeah, none of this stuff happens in my world. And the prophecy. It would be arrogant to assume it's about me. I don't know. You're from another world and trying to stop the monster attacks, and the prophecy is about someone from another world who will stop the monster attacks. It's not a huge stretch to make. Maybe you're right. Tomorrow, we'll tell the others and see what they think. Either way, we'll continue trying to save Lightshire, right? Right. Come on, if we hurry, we can get back to Lightshire by nightfall. When we return home, or when we return to town, she already stretches. What a day. I wonder if the others made it back okay. Who cares? Shiori? They're the ones who wanted to delay us. What if they decide to leave our party or just keep insisting we wait? I'm sure that won't happen. Tomorrow we'll get together again to discuss the prophecy and everything will be fine. If you say so. Anyway, I'm going to head to the town hall for some training. She takes off in the direction of the town hall. As I linger outside trying to decide if I should head straight to sleep or not, Aiko and Chisei emerge from the inn. Good, they're all right. Despite Shiori's assurances, I was worried about them. They speak to each other a little longer, and then Aiko returns inside. Chisei heads to the church, of all places. She didn't strike me as being very religious. I yawn. That crazy eldritch temple wore me out. Yet, how can I sleep when the prophecy keeps drifting through my head? Only one can stop the Ascendant Heart, a traveler to our land sent by the gods from another world. What does it mean? How does the Ascendant Heart, and how is the Ascendant Heart the problem? It must refer to Ascendant magic, so it sounds like we were right to think someone is sending the dark wolves to attack Lightshire, but who and why? Well, one thing's for sure, standing around outside won't get me anywhere. Oh, I have some choices, huh? Well, let's see if Chisei is... what's she doing here? I should talk to Shiori. I'm not tired enough to sleep just yet, so I head to the town hall. I could use a little training, too. The town hall is still as active as ever, even this late into the evening. Shiori stands across from the training dummies, and as I watch, spell after spell flies from her fingers and blasts the wooden dummies into smithereens. Yet they rematerialize after a few minutes have passed, so she never runs out of targets. Must be some sort of magic, but I can't imagine how it works. A few whispers follow me through the room as I walk up to Shiori. The other adventurers must think of me as the poor fool who doesn't know he's in a party with a traitor. I ignore them. Hey, Shiori. She hammers her current target with ice and then turns towards me. Oh, hello. Here to turn in skill points? I really need to practice the skills I have. The thought of getting something new to learn so soon makes me feel overwhelmed. It's fine if you don't want to. You can save your skill points for more powerful skills that cost multiple points. Good idea. What brings you here, then? Want to spend time with you, or I wanted to train? I don't know. I want to spend time with you? I don't know. You did? Yeah. Why? What? Because we're friends. Oh, of course. If you're busy, I can leave. No, I didn't mean that. But are you sure you want to be seen spending time with me? She waves her hand towards the rest of the town hall. You know rumors will spread. They'll think what they want to anyway. I don't care. Oh, thank you. No problem. So then, what do you want to do? Well, if you want to train some more, I could join you, or? Tell me about yourself. Huh? What is there to know that you don't know already? I barely know anything about you aside from your work as an adventurer. And the fate of her village, of course, but that's not the sort of thing I should bring up casually, especially in a room full of people. There must be things you like to do in your free time. Double duo, maybe? Shiori laughs. I tried double duo once, but I couldn't get into it. I'm surprised you've heard of it. Aiko's a big fan. She showed it to me. Oh, I see. So what do you do while she's off playing double duo? Well, I actually go fishing. Fishing? And just what's so funny about that? Oh, nothing's funny about fishing, but I can't picture you doing it. Why not? It's a lot like combat, you know? It is? Yes, it's your strength versus the fish's. You need to pay attention and make sure your line doesn't snap. And a burst of mana will always help you in a pinch. I see. Plus, it's very useful. Once you catch fish, you can cook it for lunch or dinner. And some rare types of fish can be sold at high prices. Some adventures use certain types of fish to lure monsters, too. Wow. And let's not forget the leaderboards. Leaderboards? Yes, if you report the size and weight of your fish once you catch it, it's recorded on a leaderboard. Rare varieties of fish earn you bonus points, too. Everyone competes to try to get the best fish, and at the end of each month, the leader gets a prize. I had no idea fishing was so big here. Have you ever gone fishing? I can't remember if I ever went fishing in my world, but if I did, I doubt it will help much here anyway. Nope. When we have some free time, you should go fishing with me. Really? You might enjoy it. Well, maybe. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's get in a few practice rounds to see how you've improved. Okay. We trained together against the training W's for about an hour. It's a lot different from battling enemies that fight back, but it helps me get my basic moves down. That's enough for today. At least for me. I'm tired. Same. Next time we should move on to something more challenging so you can practice those tank skills of yours. They have training W's for that? Of course. They're enchanted to fight back, although the basic ones aren't too dangerous. Sounds like a plan then. Great. We walk to the town hall door together despite the whispers that follow us. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. So did I. You know, I think I understand Chisei's point a little better now. It was nice to have time to unwind and enjoy myself without worrying about the prophecy and the dark wolves the entire time. Yeah. Well, good night. Night. The inn is quiet and almost deserted this late in the evening, so I hurry to my room. What a day. Within minutes, I'm asleep. Despite weird nightmares plagued by the things we saw at the Temple of Bazal, I feel better when I wake up. Today's the day. We all discuss the prophecy, and no matter how silly it sounds, I need to tell them that I'm from another world. When I enter the inn's tavern area, Aiko waves to me. She's seated at a table with Chisei, and they both have breakfast. I bought my own breakfast and sit down with them. I sent a message to Shiori asking her to meet us. She should be here soon, unless she's decided to part ways with us. She'll be here. Sure enough, the door opens and Shiori walks in. I lift my hand to gesture her attention and she joins us. I'm here. No breakfast? I already ate. Let's discuss the prophecy. If the prophecy is to be believed, and I see no reason to doubt it, despite Isilnarath's madness, we must find someone who comes from another world. That doesn't sound easy. It could be quite challenging. However, there are two possibilities that can make it easier. First, it might simply be our destiny to encounter this hero along the way. I've heard promising rumors about a mysterious swordsman, although I'm reluctant to follow them just yet. And second, she fixes her gaze on me. What if a traveler from another world is already among us? Shiori glances at me and gives me a slight nod of encouragement. My mouth feels dry. I swallow hard and clear my throat. And there's Chisei staring at me so intently as if she knows exactly what I'm about to say. Who is she? I'm sort of from another world. Wait, what? You're what? So it is true. I frown at her. How did you know? I didn't, not for sure, but I heard rumors about you. A new adventurer who appeared out of nowhere and seemed to lack an understanding of the most basic things about our world. Once I saw the prophecy, it was a natural conclusion to draw. No, it really wasn't. You're from another world? She appears to be in shock. The gods sent you here to save Lightshire? I don't really know, but... Of course they did. Shiori slams her hand down on the table with a triumphant grin. This is perfect. We have prophecy on our side. Indeed. It might finally be time to put an end to this. Shiori frowns at her. But first, you're going to explain who you are and why you're so interested. You want to save Lightshire. Is it so strange that I want the same thing? You joined our party with no explanation, and apparently you suspected Hayato was from another world. Ever since we met you, you've acted like you know something the rest of us don't. So, you're suspicious. That's amusing coming from you. The entire town suspects you of treachery, and you suspect me? I know I'm not a traitor. Neither am I. I have no ulterior motives. But you do know more than you're letting on. Aiko stares back and forth between the two of them with wide eyes. This is bad. Their arguments look like it might escalate to the point of physical violence, or worse, magical violence. I better do something. Let's ask Chise and see what happens. Come on, Chise. You've got to admit it's a little weird the way you walked up to us and announced that you wanted to join our party. You did ask for a new party member, though. Right, but it also seems pretty strange to me that Chise guessed I was from another world. Neither of you two jumped at that conclusion until I told you. Exactly. Fine. I suppose I owe you an explanation. That was easier than I expected. You do have a secret, then. Yes, but it's nowhere near as sinister as you seem to think. Out with it. Not here. What? She waves her hand at the room, where tables have begun to crowd up with patrons. There are too many ears here. We need to speak in private. If it's nothing sinister, why are you afraid of people hearing it? Because it might reach their ears of those who wish to stop our attempts. The three of us stare at her in shock. Does she really think the person attacking Lightshire has help on the inside? Why would someone in Lightshire try to destroy it? Follow me. We'll find a safe place to talk, and then I'll tell you everything. Chise leads us out of Lightshire all the way to the riverside. At last, she looks around and nods. This should be safe. Fantastic. Now will you please tell us what this is all about? Very well. She faces us, her expression serious. You aren't the only ones investigating the Dark Wolves. I have been searching for the source of these attacks for years. Years? Yes. That's a little disheartening. What? You've been investigating for years and haven't found anything? We have prophecy on our side now, and I didn't say I found nothing. Do you have an explanation then? Yes. Are you going to tell us? Yes. She turns to me. But first, I want to thank you. You're already much more promising than the others. Others? When the attacks began years ago, everyone thought it was a minor incident at first. Under the new adventuring guidelines, adventurers would drive them back, and Lightshire would return to being a peaceful, undisturbed town. But that didn't happen. Nearly everyone adapted to the Dark Wolves as simply a dangerous part of life they'd have to get used to. Almost no one tried to investigate the attacks, and those who did met with failure. After a while, I realized this had to be a grand story quest like the likes of which we'd never seen before. Haiko sighs. She must still be anticipating her death. If that was true, a typical band of adventurers wouldn't be enough. We needed a hero. Like in the prophecy. I didn't know about the prophecy then. I researched past historical events and looked at what their heroes had in common. Ever since then, I've sought out likely candidates. So that's what that stuff with the sword was all about. Yes, presenting a legendary sword to an adventurer sounded like a good way to find the person I needed. Wait, then it didn't actually belong to a legendary hero? No, I bought it myself and roughed it up to make it look old. If anyone actually accepted her offer, I wonder how they felt when they learned the truth. I did whatever I could to find possible heroes. If they were already adventurers, I joined their parties. If they weren't, I encouraged them to try. So, that's why you decided to join us. Exactly. Wait, but you joined us before you read the prophecy. What made you think we might be the ones? Your amnesia. I heard of a new adventurer with amnesia and rushed to the Lightshire to check you out. If I'd known it was you that day, I would have tried harder. Amnesia is common in heroes? Oh yes. You're the 10th amnesiac adventurer I've traveled with. 10? And that's not counting all the uncommon farm boys, disguised princesses, and young men with spiky hair. What? Once I found a spiky-haired farm boy who was actually an amnesiac princess in disguise. I thought for sure I had it that time. I remember reading about her. That's right, didn't she save the world? Yes, I should have known she wasn't my hero. Ask why she should have known. I might regret pursuing this conversation, but curiosity drives me to ask anyway. Why should you have known she wasn't your hero? A hero who is simultaneously a princess in disguise and a farm boy with both amnesia and spiky hair? Clearly she was destined for major world-shaking events. I see. Were there any long-haired swordsmen involved? Yes, you said you read about her. Didn't you see any pictures of her nemesis? Only after she turned into a monster. Oh, I see. I suppose they didn't want to give him accidentally good publicity. That's right. Remember when Evil King Zevon won the world's most attractive bachelor contest? What a nightmare. He nearly took over the world because screaming fangirls wouldn't let the heroes kill him. How can they talk about all these things with a straight face? Is something wrong, Hayato? He probably wants us to get back on track. Enough about Princess Farm Boys and Evil Kings. We had a town to save. Anyway, Hayato's amnesia convinced me to join your party, especially since you already seemed interested in the Dark Wolves. Reading the prophecy and learning the truth about Hayato convinced me I finally found the right hero. You really think we can stop the Dark Wolves then? I do. That's great, but I don't know why you needed to tell us that in secret. That wasn't the secret part. You think someone in Lightshire is responsible for the attacks, don't you? Correct. What? Why would anyone want to hurt the town? My investigations over the years led me to the conclusion that the Dark Wolves weren't acting on their own. Someone was commanding them to attack Lightshire. Your attempts to link Ascendant magic to the attacks makes me certain. Ascendant magic hasn't been seen in centuries. Correct. As a result, if someone were born with such powers today, few people would recognize it for what it was. So, who is it? The Guildmaster. For a moment, we all stare at her in shock. Finally, Shiori breaks the silence. That actually makes a lot of sense. No, it doesn't. Lightshire is the Guildmaster's home. If he lost Lightshire, well, what would he do? He will never lose Lightshire, don't you see? If he controls the attacks, he can make sure the Dark Wolves never damage the town too much. But the continued attacks encourage more people to become adventurers. Who's in charge of the adventurers? The Guildmaster. He did set up the adventuring system shortly after the attacks began. Oh, you're right. Not only that, but I recently dug into his past a little more. Before the attacks began, he was researching a certain topic. Anyone guesses what it was? What? Ascendant magic. No way. Yes, the Guildmaster researched Ascendant magic. The monster attacks began, and then he set up the adventuring system with himself as its head. His research into Ascendant magic stopped around that time, too. Could be a coincidence. It seems a little too simple, right? I mean, if it's an RPG game, then there's something else behind it. This isn't proof he's behind it. Excuse me? You've been investigating for years, but all you have is speculation. The Guildmaster technically benefits from the attacks. That doesn't mean he's responsible. He fits the profile of a traditional villain, though. The ones who show up in story quests. That's true. He's a little scary. I always thought it was strange someone who looked so much like a villain had such a position of authority. Speculation, profiling, and evidence that's circumstantial at best. This isn't enough to accuse the man of attacking Lightshire. Who do you think it is, then? I don't know, but if this is the only lead we have, we need to look into it. I thought you didn't trust Chisei. Now you're on her side? We can't afford to overlook possibilities. I guess we should check it out. But hunting down the Guildmaster like some sort of vigilante squad probably isn't the best answer. We have the hero of prophecy on our side. It's time we confronted the Guildmaster. Already? Every moment we delay puts Lightshire in danger of another attack. We can't waste time. We can't rush in unprepared either. Let's take some time to get ready and then meet up at the town hall in 1 hour. Agreed. Hayato, you need to prepare the most. Why me? You're the one mentioned by the prophecy. That means the rest of us are secondary. And expendable. No, we're all important. She has a point, though. Make sure you're ready for a fight. You should probably upgrade your equipment. Do they think I'm going to duel the Guildmaster? Is that really what this is about? Well, better safe than sorry. Alright, don't worry. I'll make sure I'm prepared. Aiko? This really doesn't feel right to me. How can we accuse someone without any proof? That's rich coming from you. I just... Why don't we compromise? What do you have in mind? In addition to preparing over the next hour, we also search for for further evidence. Once we meet up, we'll make our decision. That sounds fair. What do you think, Aiko? Okay. Then we better get started. She and Aiko head back to town, and I take a step after them, but Chise catches my arm. I'd also like to speak to you for a moment alone. I shrug. Okay. Shiori and Aiko continue on their way, and I wait to see what Chise wants. Does she know something else about the prophecy? Is there something about heroes I should keep in mind? If she doesn't want to stay in town, it must be important. Once we're alone, she gives me a serious look. There is one other possibility we should consider. What's that? The hero might not be you, specifically, but your child. It takes a moment for that to sink in. My child? Yes, your child grows up here, believing him or herself to be like all the other children, and then learns you traveled from here from another world. This leads them to seek out their destiny and save the world, or at least the town. It happens from time to time. But I don't have a child. Any plans to have one soon? No. Do you have a girlfriend? Where is this going? That's a personal question. If you have a girlfriend, then she should be present for a discussion about your future children. I don't, but why? I see. In that case... Wait a minute, what are you doing? This is the easiest solution. To what? To your lack of potential hero child, of course. Does she mean what I think she means? Don't worry if it doesn't work out today. We'll just keep trying until I get pregnant. That's all. Is this is this sort of proposition normal here? You look horrified. Is it me? Do you find me too unattractive to mate with? No, that's not it. Mating? Really? If you like, we can find someone more to your taste. There are certain adventurers who offer such services, although usually not with the goal of having a child. I have a sudden nightmarish image of Chise making me post this as a request on the notice board for everyone to see. Look, I'm not ready to have a kid, and it wouldn't be good for the potential future hero to have a bad father, right? I suppose you have a point. Finally, raising a family here isn't on my list of things to do, at least not now. On the other hand, if some heroes are driven to investigate their past due to distant parents, let's make sure I'm not the hero before... Or let's make sure I'm not the hero before we make any crazy plans for the future, okay? Oh, very well. Have it your way. Let me know if you change your mind. Right. As we head back to Lightshire, I can't help but hope Chise forgets all about this plan. Do you need my assistance with anything? It's amazing she can talk to me so calmly after her proposition. Does nothing faze her? I'd like to make a few preparations on my own, but if you need my help, I'd be glad to change my plans. Seriously, we've known each other for about 10 minutes, yet she offered to have my child to save Lightshire. Is she that dedicated to her quest? Hayato, you seem distracted. Okay, why don't we save it there? This is audap. You're watching Ascendant Hearts on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I like the fact that this is just a lighthearted adventure with a little bit of fan service here and there. Not too much. Not like the other games I've been playing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.